to Hi Peter, how's the season been going so far?
Up and down. It's not been too bad. It's getting a bit better now, hopefully. So I don't know.
In your last visit to Shawfield, there was a lot of controversy surrounding track conditions. What was your view in this incident?
It was just a racing crash, really. I mean, the track is a bit patchy, but I've rode worse. It was just one of those things. Just one thing. I just clipped Mick's back wheel and hit the fence. It was mainly my fault, I think.
Edinburgh looks set to make the 14 final. How do you rate chances in this?
I think we're doing all right at the moment, but there's still 2 rounds to go. So if we have a good meeting tonight, I think we stand a good chance of getting through. So once we get through, we just have to see what happens.
Last time you were here, you had a lot of problems. Do you think you're putting behind you this time?
Yeah, I hope so. I've been home for nearly 8 weeks now, and I think I forgot everything. And I'm gonna go out and try my best. Just take it easy, get my confidence back.
Do you get any new machinery for your comeback?
Yeah, I have a new machine and a brand new bike. I'm gonna try see how it's working. I hope it's gonna work good.
How's the season been going so far?
It's been a bit up and down, like mainly because I just come back from an injury. I had a good start to the season, you know, with a lot of good meetings. Anyway, I went really. I had good meetings, and then I came into this injury where I broke my collarbone, so that knocked it back a bit. But hopefully, I should pull back now.
You missed the first 2 rounds of the 14 tournament, and Newcastle is currently sitting third. Do you think your return will make the difference?
I think we can obviously do whatever we can to pull back the points, but coming back at Glasgow, Shawfield, where obviously the home side will do well, it'll be a bit hard, I think, tonight, but maybe we can do it next time in the last round at Edinburgh. Maybe we can pull it back there, but I think as long as we can stay at bay with Glasgow after tonight, I think we've done well.
Since you left Glasgow, you've established yourself as a firm number 1. How did you achieve this?
I think mainly it's been down to you know, been a few things. I've moved away from here, and sometimes a change does you good in a way. You know, you come along to a different side, new promotion, new teammates, and new people in general, and you just sort of start from afresh, really. Not saying that I never enjoyed it here. I enjoyed it very much here. This was where I had my best time in my British career, with winning the league back in '93 and the cup. So I had a great time here, but I just needed sort of, I think, a new challenge at one stage, and I got that with joining Newcastle last year, so I've enjoyed it there too.
You're still a favourite with the Glasgow fans. Do you like returning to Shawfield?
Yeah, I've looked forward to this very much. Unfortunately, as I said before, I wasn't here for the for the cup match, but I was looking forward to coming here tonight, and I'll do whatever I can to produce the goods.
Thanks, Jesper.
No problem.
Well, the opening race of the third leg of the 4s, which Edinburgh lead comfortably with Newcastle and Glasgow tucked together in 2nd and 3rd place. Berwick seem well out of it, but tonight we have all 4 teams at full strength, so it should be a good meeting. 4s usually brings out some of the best racing of the season. It's not the rider's favourite, but it is a fan's favourite, and that's because it's a hard meeting. In this opening race, we've got David Meldrum of Berwick riding from the inside gate. The teams maintain the same helmet colour all evening. Gate 2 is Brent Werner of Newcastle, who hasn't excelled so far in this competition. Mick Powell having a tremendous season. He goes from gate 3, and Edinburgh's Kevin Little comes from gate 4. And Mick Powell caught the tape there, I think, as it went up. Surely the referee's not letting that go. No, indeed, and it seems certainly to be Mick Powell in the that broke the tapes there, unless there's some reason for the tapes not going up.
Lights are on, and the decision of referee Will Hunter is that it was an unsatisfactory.
Well, extraordinary decision there, unsatisfactory start.
The reason for that is that the teams were actually released when mixed up the tape, so that is why they are fighting all 4. Representing Berwick.
Well, after a fairly long delay, we're ready for the restart. I can't say I saw anything wrong with the way the tapes were going up during tests, but they've managed to come up with an all-4 decision. Mick Powell's away best in the rerun. It's Kevin Little coming around the outside of David Meldrum there, but Meldrum fighting back down the straight. Little roars into the 3rd turn outside Meldrum. Powell leads the way quite comfortably. I think Little just about got through into second now. So he's very wide there. I don't think he'll get much drive from there. Kevin really likes to ride the inside, but he hasn't been able to get across onto it yet. Now he's well out again there, and Meldrum still holding second place. Well, young David had a spin here after the international last week and impressed onlookers, and he's impressing again here by holding off Kevin Little, who so often looks as though he's going to pass somebody and doesn't make it, and that's the case again here. But Newcastle will be disappointed to see their American Brent Werner at the back. He's an overseas finalist, but doesn't look like it on this showing. So Mick Powell takes a big victory in the opening race. David Meldrum takes a very good second, just ahead in the end of Kevin Little, who is the nearly man once again. And Brent Werner, no points there. If he's going to be as poor as that, that won't be good for the Diamonds. I think David Meldrum's got a puncture at the end of the race, but still a good second place for him. Okay, number 2, Jesper Olsen rides from gate 1, and of course he's an ex-Tiger who you could say he flies here, but you could equally say that he flies everywhere. He's just recently back from a broken shoulder, but I think he'll be fit now. It's quite a while since he suffered that injury. Gate 2, Dave Steen. Gate 3, Paul Gould. Gate 4, Peter Scully. And it's Olsen and Steen battling away there on the inside. Quite a tough first corner, and Dave Steen emerges in front. Jesper Olsen going for the big drive to try and get round him. Paul Gould's in third at the moment, and it would please Edinburgh if he could stay there. But Scully will be buzzing round him. Steen doing extremely well here. Although it's so dusty, it's difficult to see an awful lot of passing. Steen well clear of Olsen now. He doesn't look as quick as normal. And Paul Gould still keeping that third place. Where's Olsen going? Very wide there. Paul Gould's come inside him. Well, maybe Jesper isn't completely fit. You wouldn't normally expect that sort of effort from the Newcastle man. I don't know how many times he's ridden since his injury. Perhaps he hasn't, because there's been so many rained off meetings. So Dave Steen takes a win. Paul Gould gets a very unexpected and very welcome and good second for Edinburgh. Peter Scully takes third, and Jesper either must have had machine problems or still suffering from that injury, because that was a very uncharacteristic ride indeed. And we wonder if we'll see Jesper again. Key number 3, we have Dally Anderson. This is his first meeting back in Britain after injury. I think he has ridden in Sweden. Gate 2 is Scott Lamb, Gate 3 is Stuart Swales, and Gate 4 is Peter Carr. And it's Dally Anderson away well. Stuart Swales going round him. Peter Carr a long way back. He's coming for a long charge down the straight. Oh my goodness, Dally's almost stopped there. He's really slowed up the riders behind him, and Peter Carr's come to almost a halt. Now Scott Lamb's away haywire. He's lost it there. What on earth's going on? Scott's come to a complete halt. He's had engine failure. Stuart Swales unexpectedly leading the race. Dally Anderson doesn't look much different from what he did earlier in the season, but he has shaken off Peter Carr by the unexpected method of slowing down in front of him. Carr's trying to come back, but he's still got too much to do, I think. And Stuart Swales was not the favourite to win this race by any means, I don't think. Newcastle's first points. And quite an odd race result there. Heat 4 from the inside, it's Nicky Pedersen, Newcastle, the sensational find of the season. Sean Courtney rides from gate 2, Kenny McKenna's in gate 3, and Scott Robson, first Premier League outing I think this year. No, he must have ridden last night of course down at Berwick, but certainly early in his time with Berwick. Has returned to Berwick where he used to ride a few years ago. Glasgow 8 points so far. Strong one for Sean Courtney to face here. Kenny McKenna very jumpy at the start there. He's made the start, I think, just ahead of Nicky Pedersen to the first corner. Here comes Scott Robson, screaming round the outside, making up ground on McKenna there, and he has just edged ahead as they get to the third corner. Well, that was a terrific first lap there by Scott Robson, just come down from the Elite League. He went very well here as a guest for Glasgow last year. Sean Courtney's come past Nicky Pedersen here, and we're getting a more interesting race than this one. Nicky having a few struggles to get round, and he's stopped now. Well, Newcastle have had a win out of their second string, and the three Heeley leaders have all scored nothing. And Scott Robson, a sensational return to Shawfield. He's screaming clear. Almost ran into the fence there, but he shut off in time. And it was certainly a great burst on the first lap by Scott. Because once Kenny's away, that's usually end of story. Very good ride by Scott Robson to give the Bandits a bit of encouragement. And Edinburgh won't be too unhappy with a second place there, but Glasgow maintain the lead. Heat 5 looks very much an all-star race. From the inside, it's Scott Lamb, Kenny McKenna, Jesper Olsen and Mick Powell. And it's McKenna just to the corner, Jesper Olsen going past. Well, if he can ride like that, he must be fit. But he faded badly in his first race. Mick Powell's in third, but he's one of the few men that can really pass on the slick round here. McKenna is in second at the moment. I know he's on a makeshift engine that isn't too quick, and here comes Mick Powell past him, I think. Powell through into second at least. McKenna goes for the big drive, and I think Jesper Olsen's slowing up again. He's definitely struggling, I think. And there might be pickings for McKenna here as well. Powell you would back to pass Olsen, although the Newcastle man's hanging on grimly. He's locked up again there. Powell leads. And McKenna's packed up, I think. For the umpteenth time this season, Kenny McKenna grinds to a halt. Or rather he doesn't. I wonder if he thought that was the end of the race. It wasn't. Great win for Mick Powell, although again clearly Jesper Olsen struggling. And Kenny McKenna, I think, mistook the end of the race there and blew it badly. So there we are, Edinburgh nothing, Glasgow 3. It's tightening up at the front overall. Gate number 6, Dave Steen rides from the inside gate. He was a good winner first time out. Gate 2, Scott Robson, who was even more impressive in his first one. Gate 3, Peter Carr, who had a disappointing first ride, and Brent Werner the same, coming from Gate 4. Glasgow have 12 and they're pulling well clear at the moment. And Peter Carr's got to the front this time, even though he wasn't at all quick away from the tapes. I think it's Robson and Werner fighting out second place there. Werner going flying to the outside there. And he's into second place. This time the Glasgow man's at the back. Dave Strain trying to squeeze through inside Scott Robson. No joy there. And Werner's a bit out of control down there, but the positions seem fairly set. Car didn't move quickly from the tapes, but he drove hard into that first turn. Everybody's looking round. Car comes screaming home for a big win there. Edinburgh's first race winner of the night. Brent Werner came to life there as well, and for once the Tigers weren't well away, but it all seems to depend a great deal on the first bend, and apart from Mick Powell's race where there were perhaps other factors in play. Heat 7 Edinburgh's Paul Gould is the inside gate this time. David Meldrum, who had a good first ride, goes from gate 2. Nicky Pedersen ran into machine problems first time out. He's in gate 3. We should expect big things from Nicky. And Dally Anderson comes from gate 4, looking for some confidence boosting points. Pretty level from the tapes. Nicky Pedersen's gone ahead, I think. Here comes Daly around the outside, into second place. Still very slow into the turn there, but he's quite steady thereafter. And putting some power on there to try and catch Nicky. Paul Gould got a good start and then lost position. He's having a double for third against David Meldrum. And Daly's away there, he's stopped, I think. Oh, bad luck, he was having a slightly better ride. He is under pressure from Glasgow promoter Brian Sands. So that leaves Nicky Pedersen a long way clear, and we're certainly expected race wins from Nicky. Paul Gould still trailing David Meldrum to try and get second, but he's not showing any great ideas as to how he's going to get past. And I don't think he will on from there now, so that will be a second place for David Meldrum. Should be very happy with. There we go, and a disappointing one for Glasgow, who haven't scored over the last two races, but there were signs that Daly was maybe going a little bit better there.
Well, he's in the middle, he better get a tremendous ride through the
There's heat number 8, the scores have really all tightened up now. There's a 12 and 3 10s with Glasgow on the 12. In this one, Peter Scully rides from the inside for Berwick. Kevin Little gate 2, Sean Courtney's in gate 3, and Stuart Swales, who was very impressive in his first race, he comes from gate 4. And Kevin Little's made a good gate from gate 2. Courtney's shaping to come round him, and so is Swales, and it's all tightening up down the back straight, and Courtney gets ahead. But he's gone terribly wide there, he won't come back from there. So Little holds the lead, and Sean Courtney's gone to the back. Oh my goodness! And that's surely Sean Courtney riding right across into Scully's path there. What was he doing? He came way from the outside and swung in. Dear, dear, dear. Well, poor old Peter Scully's been in the wars enough without people slamming into him like that. Sean, of course, is not a hard ride. Go back to the line for heat number 8. Peter Scully's been excluded. I find that absolutely incredible. Thankfully the riders are fit, that's the main thing. Sean Courtney is in the race. I think he's riding the bike that Dally Anderson was on. Glad to see he's fit, but I think Sean must know he shouldn't be in the race, and I think most people in the stadium know that. So the 3 riders remaining, Kevin Little, Sean Courtney and Stuart Swales. Little and Courtney hitting the bend together. There's scope for the run round the outside here though, and there they go. Both past Kevin Little, who was leading the original race, but didn't do very much about the riders passing him there. So Courtney making ground on Swales, and Ali Anderson will be watching how his bike goes here. It's going into the bends quicker than it does with Daly on top of it. Well, Stuart Swales as the surprise packet of the meeting. On his way to his second victory, Kevin Little incredibly has fallen off in a race he should have won the first time. I don't know whether he can get back on for the point. He probably can. He's not doing much of a job for Edinburgh at the moment. Swales, a remarkable effort, well clear of Sean Courtney now. But really he's being let down by his heat leader partners, who haven't scored up to expectations so far. Well, an appalling refereeing decision in that race, and another surprise win, I suppose you could say, for Stuart Swales, though. If he wins 4, it won't be a surprise by the end. Second reserve race from the inside, Robert Larson, Rennie Madsen, Grant MacDonald and Malcolm Frilly-Hogg. Madsen's made a good gate there, so's Larson on the inside, but Madsen goes screaming past him. Grant MacDonald cuts very cleverly up the inside, puts pressure on Madsen and drives in hard there. Madsen swinging out to get some grip, and he gets past MacDonald again. MacDonald likes to get onto the inside of that second turn, Mick Powell style, and get drive, and he'll do the same up here. I think he could get through this time. He has. What a super effort that is. Real good control there. And Madsen will not come back on him now, I don't think. Swinging out wide, both of them. Well, Madsen's getting something on the outside. He's not lost touch, though he's a bit slow in there. And Grant MacDonald takes an excellent victory from the back with a really well-controlled overtake. That's inside of these turns, leaving the corners is the place to be. Only the best of them can do it, but Grant MacDonald's one of them. Big wheelie as well. Well, into the second half of the meeting, heat number 9, and there's 2 unbeaten men in this one. Stuart Swales coming from gate 1, Mick Powell from gate 2. Scott Robson also a potential winner here from gate 3, I think, if he makes a decent start, and Paul Gould rides from gate 4. Mick Powell's up in the air a bit there, and Swales and Robson have gone ahead, and Paul Gould's come firing around the outside as well. Well, let's see if Mick can do it from the back here. It won't be easy for him. He's up against some hot competition. Scott Robson, though, very wide. Still the same positions, but Mick Powell's really pressing, and Paul Gould's amazingly still in touch. Powell's through into second, and Gould's gone past Swales there in quite exciting style, though Gould's incredibly wide there. I can't see how Powell can make up that ground on Gould. Robson. Last bend of lap 3. Swales has got back into third again with some hard riding. Robson's got a pretty fair advantage as they hit the last corner, and certainly Scott Robson looks like a very, very useful signing for Berwick, taking a victory there. Stuart Swales has actually stopped there, and Paul Gould got a point out of it. So there we are. That was a very interesting race, but Scott Robson did the hard work on the first corner, and he's very, very quick round here, taking an excellent victory. Heat 10, Kevin Little is the inside gate here, Nicky Pedersen gate 2, he came good in his last ride. Scott Robson's in gate 3, and Dave Steen rides from gate 4. Score's still very tight. And it's Pedersen, I think, to the corner. Lamb trying to go around the outside, and Steen thought he was coming around as well, but he's at the back at the moment. Scott Lamb will go very wide here. Not the best of lines really, but look at Scott there, terrific burst of speed. He's gone to the front. Where's he going to go this time? You never quite know with Scott. Nicky Pedersen's come back through. Exciting race up front. Dave Steen trying desperately to get through from the back. Kevin Little holding a tight line, and he's in touch as well. Pedersen's back in front. Lamb's still looking for that outside drive. Little's on his heels now. Lamb's away again. He got drive on the first lap, but it doesn't always work round here. Once again, Kevin Little looking for that inside line. There's drive there, and he's on Scott Lamb's back wheel as they hit the last corner. Scott very wide there, and Kevin Little gets second place in the end. Well, it was interesting all the way there, first for first place and later on for second place. But I don't know how that affects the scores, but the leading team Glasgow were at the back, so it must have tightened up more again.
Well, he's a tremendous, he's good race all the way by the rider in the blue helmet, representing Newcastle.
Don't know. Well, the situation now is that Glasgow and Newcastle have 16 each, Berwick and Edinburgh have 14 each. In this one it's Brent Werner, Rennie Madsen replacing Peter Scully, Dally Anderson and Kenny McKenna coming from gate 4. McKenna made the start, but he hasn't looked quick tonight, so the others might feel they've still got a chance. Werner and Madsen contesting second. I don't know if Scully's injured or if Berwick have just decided to give Madsen a chance because he's gone quite well in the reserve races. Glasgow need Daly to do something from the back here, and Edinburgh need Kenny McKenna to count the laps correctly. Brent Werner's moved past Rennie Madsen there, I think, although Madsen coming back again with a powerful drive down the straight. So the interest for second here. Daly's well out of control at the back and well back. And Glasgow must be looking at the rider that was supposed to be their number 1 this year. The rest of the team's doing very well. And there's a super battle going on for second place here. Werner now is driven inside Madsen. Here comes Madsen back again. Last lap, half a lap to go. What can he do? Werner made it awkward for him there on the entry to the third turn. It's a big win for McKenna, and Brent Werner gets a second place in the end. An interesting tussle there. But Daly's starting to get the unfavourable remarks from the terracing, and that really won't do for their number 1. 28 number 12, the 3/4 points of the meeting, and it's Peter Carr coming from gate 1 this time. Gate 2, Jesper Olsen, who's been making the gate and then tending to struggle. Gate 3, David Meldrum, who's ridden very well, and Sean Courtney, I think I'm right in saying, back on his own machine, coming from gate 4. And it's Carr and Olsen battling from the inside there, and it's Olsen who's gone ahead again. Well, he's done that in each of his races. He hasn't managed to hold on yet. And Carr challenging him now on the inside, with Courtney buzzing around the outside. Jesper looking a bit steadier in this race, locking up there. Carr trying to get inside him, there's not much room. Peter a bit wider there, trying to get some drive. I think he's lost quite a bit of ground now. Final lap, Jesper still leading. The dust's flying. Oh, Carr really challenging hard there, but not altogether in control, I don't think. And Jesper's done it for 4 laps this time. Well, if he's not fit, then he's gradually getting fitter as the night goes on. Good win there for him. Gate number 13, Kenny McKenna's on gate 1. Gate 2, Stuart Swales. That's the 2 leading teams at the moment. Newcastle ahead with 21 and Edinburgh have 19. But Glasgow using Grant MacDonald here to replace Dave Steen, and I think Grant's capable of causing an upset here. And it's David Meldrum coming from gate 4. Second ride in a row for David. McKenna away. MacDonald's quite well placed, but Swales bursts inside him as they get to the far corner, and McKenna leads. Swales charging in chase. David Meldrum's in third. Let's see what Grant MacDonald can do. Very impressive from the back in the reserves race. He's cut inside MacDonald there with great skill. I mean Meldrum rather. He is MacDonald. He's into third now. I think Kenny McKenna's too far ahead to be caught. But Grant might make some grounds on Stuart Swales. so far. Swales really has ridden exceptionally well. He had a puncture in the race that he stopped, and he's taken 8 from his other 3, which is outstanding work for Newcastle, and if they win it'll be thanks to him, largely. So, but Edinburgh will be delighted with Kenny McKenna there. They creep a point closer to Newcastle, and I certainly think Edinburgh have well and truly qualified for their big day out at Peterborough. Elite 14, Mick Powell on gate 1 here. Mick's just dropped the 1 point so far. Gate 2 is Peter Carr, gate 3 Rennie Madsen, and completing what looks like about the best quartet of the night, Nicky Pedersen rides from gate 4. Very high quality race indeed here. Powell's away well, Carr's come alongside him, but Pedersen on the outside there, very impressive as well. Powell goes ahead off that favourite inside line of his, but look at Pedersen racing hard round the outside there, swinging very wide. And Pedersen's gone ahead. Sensational riding by the Danish youngster, he really is quite superb. He cuts over to the inside, perhaps knowing that's Mick Powell's favourite line, or maybe he just likes it himself. Spectacular stuff from the Danish youngster, who could be World Under-21 champion this year. He really is a beautiful rider. Peter Carr is the Premier League Riders' champion, but he can't make much of it from 3rd place against these 2 flyers. Rennie Madsen's given up the ghost at the back. Pedersen into his last lap. It would take a mistake now for him to lose it. Look at that beautiful control he's got on these corners to get to the inside coming out, which is, as I've said before, that's what you want to do. This lad is a real supremo. Terrific ride by Nicky Pedersen. Number 15, just 2 to go. We've got Scott Robson coming from gate 1 for Berwick, and he has been really excellent for the Bandits. They must be very pleased with how he's going. He's replaced Jorg Pingle in the Berwick team, and he's going a lot better than Jorg was. Gate 2 is Grant MacDonald, who's come in for Dally Anderson. Gate 3 is Kevin Little, and gate 4 is Jesper Olsen. Newcastle could certainly clinch the meeting victory here. And it's Olsen who's gone to the front after a hard first turn there with Robson and Little. Olsen swings to the outside as Scott Robson leads the way. Oh my goodness, Kevin Little's come crashing off there. I don't know whether he hit Jesper Olsen or not there. He might have clipped Jesper's back wheel as he came out the corner. And we hope Kevin's okay. He's took quite a heavy one there. Well, Kevin Little out of that last one, but he did walk back apparently okay. So it's Robson, MacDonald and Olsen for the rerun. And it's Olsen again. Robson trying hard to push his way through. He may have done it here. Not quite. Jesper hangs on again. MacDonald's going for the outside here, but it's just too dry out there, I think. Look at MacDonald here round the outside, almost alongside Scott Robson. Whoa! Scott just moved out a bit there. I don't think he knew MacDonald was there. I'm not quite sure what's wrong with Robson. I think he's lost the footrest. He has. So Olsen leads the way. And he'll get a win now because he's not under any pressure. So not much more to be said about this one. And Jesper, having looked as though he was really struggling earlier on, he's finished up in flying form, and Newcastle will be absolutely delighted with that. So they've definitely clinched victory in this round with Edinburgh not scoring there. And it just really remains to be the second place that's being fought out behind Edinburgh in the overall standings. Heat 16, the last race of the night, and it's Sean Courtney on gate 1, Paul Gould gate 2, Brent Werner on gate 3 and Scott Lamb on gate 4. The scores on tonight's meeting, which has been won by Newcastle there on 29 points, Edinburgh on 23, Glasgow 22 and Berwick 16. And it's Werner who's gone ahead. Courtney just ahead of Gould, and look at this from Scott Lamb round the outside there. Lamb's gone ahead. He hasn't had a great night so far. Look at the way he goes out there. Always does that. Werner trying to come round the outside of Courtney. And he's just about there. Sean back again. Good battle for second here. Scott Lamb going quite slow there on the in front, so he's holding everybody up. Courtney's into second now. Battling to catch Lamb, and Sean certainly takes a better line round here than Scott does. Look at Scott there, haywire. Sean will get through, he's done it. And he'll certainly hold on here because Scott's going so wide. Oh, did I call it wrong? I did. Scott Lamb won it. Great race to finish with. So Berwick gets some joy out of it at last. A brave ride by Scott Lamb, if not a tidy one there.